Scorpio, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche, where we talk about life, love, and relationship by way of the tarot. I'm feeling lovey-dovey today. I'm in a really good mood. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching for your particular sign, I am JT. If you are a returning subscriber, you know I already love you, right? See, I just got that Rico Suave thing going on. I love you. Okay, like I always say, sometimes these cards work out in our day-to-day grind. Sometimes they do not. It's just a general reading. So, use your intuition. If it fits, cool. If it doesn't, don't try to force it. Do keep in mind that I always place haiku poems right before your reading because I love you, right? All right, we're going to see what's going to shake loose in the energy for Scorpio. I have already pre-shuffled the cards, so you can skip past this part if you'd like. But if you do, I'm going to just say that maybe you're a little impatient. Not calling you a name, not a bad thing. Just saying, some people are a little impatient. They just want to get right to the reading. All right, universe, what does Scorpio need to know about today's reading? What kind of message is going to be in this reading for them that they can take away with in confidence and knowing what kind of message about love, about finances? Let's talk about it. We have your current energy. We have your crossing challenge. All right. This is the second time we've seen the devil card in the crossing challenge. A little bit of taboo, a little bit of love, sexuality, sexual. All right. We're also going to talk about what's in the foundation, the recent past, the possibilities, the little night action, the near future coming together. Talk about the self, talk about the environment. Ooh, okay. We're going to talk about the hopes, fears, wishes, and worries, and the outcome and the direction. A little emperor action. All right, Scorpio. While I'm taking a look at these cards, here are your brand new poems from Haiku Corner. I'll straighten all this mess right back up, and we're going to talk about this reading. All right, Scorpio, we start off your reading with the Seven of Pentacles. We have got a situation where you got somebody in your energy here. We are talking about, you know what, I'm going to give you the download. This is going to be a good one. You're going to like this. All right, this is like the pause right before the next big move you're about to take here. Somebody's watching you very closely, okay? We're going to talk about this devil energy. I think you got a masculine, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get there, but this is all about this is the year you're reviewing everything. This is all about your life, the patterns. This is about your finances. I think somebody's about to do this major shift. We graduate from the 7 over here into the 8 pentacles. So that is money graduation, all right? But we're talking about the inconsistencies, right, of this person, their desire versus their effort, maybe putting into this situation. It's got you kind of kicked back, like we're going to do some evaluating here. You're waiting for a message. Maybe it's been overdue. They've done the typing right, but they forgetting to send. Okay, and so it's got like you're deciding whether to invest, more on that connection or just kind of pull back. This is reviewing your bank statements. The financial upgrade. You're watching somebody's social media, right, to see if they're still watching you, but in the background you're thinking about long term. This is all about stability. This is home, money, legacy. So this energy that we're going to talk about, this Knight of Cups energy, I think you got somebody on your mind, and I know they got you on their mind, but they got you more on their mind. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting there, I promise. But it's like, I don't know. This person may have said things like I'm busy, right? And so I kind of feel like what this is saying in this kickback, kind of energy, you're like, you can kind of tell the emotional truth behind it, right? You're way more observant. then you are reactive here. Okay, so it's got both masculine, feminine energy. So the feminine energy is definitely evaluating, right? And the masculine energy may be in the hesitation kind of mindset. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, but this is all about transformation here. For some of you, you could be getting ready to plant a garden. And I'm saying this, or you could be surrounded by the energy of somebody who is like a farmer or somebody who's I kind of am leaning towards that. I'm going to tell you why, but because this energy right here just tells me somebody's grounded with nature, and if that's you, maybe you guys are, from a little rural area, something like that. It doesn't have to apply, you guys. I'm just saying, but I feel like there's something around butterflies. Okay. I'm getting butterflies in this. It's like, that could be the butterflies in your stomach, but I'm also talking about, this is about transformation. Okay. So some of you could resonate, with the butterfly as a spirit animal or something like that. Spirit insects, there are lots of those, right? So, but you're not who you were last year. And so this is all about your standards that are evolving. Okay. Now let's get to some juice. I swear, as soon as I saw this devil card in this, I started thinking of some old Keith Anderson tune, Hey, baby, what you doing this evening? Can you meet me down at the railroad tracks? I got Tom Petty playing in my Silverado and I've iced down a 6-pack. Oh, I know I didn't do him no justice, but I think it's you got some guy in a 4-wheel drive jacked up truck stuck down by the pond, thinking about you. That was funny. I know that was funny. Anyway, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you'd have to look up that song. But you and me, baby, picking wildflowers, right? This has got everything about temptation, obsession, repeating patterns, definitely sexual chemistry, right? That's right. You know it. I know it. Just say it. It's magnetic, and the chemistry is intense here. All right. And it's got addiction to it. It's addictive, right? I think it's mostly passion. And so that's why I'm saying I kind of feel like you're just kind of kicked back. There's something about your intuition here, you're like, you sense that too, and you're going, I done been down that road. I'm not going to be going back to the pony show again. This ain't my game no more, right? This is all about a masculine energy who's been watching you, maybe not stepping up. Okay. And I think you're sensing it. Could be a third party situation, right? Somebody may be breadcrumbing you, refusing kind of like to let you go. Sorry, you guys, I gotta let my grandkitty go on, baby boy. Gotta let my grandkitty through. He's about to throw a fit. But yeah, I'm talking like, this has got the feminine energy pulling away, when things get maybe real. It doesn't have to be the situation. I feel like more of it's that masculine. Okay. You're waiting on that masculine, but I don't know. It does have kind of like that late night sexting, texting going on, right? That is some fun stuff. Look, some jealous, maybe not committal, something like that. If that's the third party energy here, but also we're talking about that karmic loop. You've broken before, but you kind of fear like of maybe slipping back into. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing that. You're working on some financial habits here. Maybe it's overspending. Maybe it's emotional overspending, right? Some purchases you made in the heart department, and you want your money back. But anyway, that kind of needs attention there in that situation. Take what applies here, but I feel like there's a little bit of avoiding accountability, maybe hiding some feelings here. Some of them masculines may be using a little humor to kind of deflect the intensity. Maybe you are, anyway, take what fits here. But this has got the masculine energy in this card would look something like possessive, maybe silent. It's got that silent watching. The feminine energy is intuitive, and it would lead you to believe, kind of lead into that conflicted kind of clarity, right? And so you're craving that clarity. Hey, this is all about the serpent too, right? Let's not leave out the snake. Don't kill the snakes in your garden. They're good for you. If you're, got you a garden going, leave them in there. They're good. All right. The snake's not that serpent that we're, anyway, I don't even go there, but it's all about temptation, but it's also about shedding old patterns. Some of you could actually have like snake tattoos. You could have pet snakes, I'm just saying here. But this is all about breaking that loop, right? Not repeating it. So anyway, let's talk about this foundation. This is where it gets juicy too. It's like somebody could be younger than you. You could be younger than this person. There could be somebody coming into your mix about finances that's younger. But this is all about curiosity. It's all about gathering information here. Whether that's the down low surveillance on your your TikTok or on your Facebook, whatever platform you use, it's analyzing someone's behavior here, okay? And they're just trying to understand, what's behind the motive here, what's taking place. So it's checking your profile, a lot of times during the day. And it's also got like, texting is not the easiest way to try to, and let me say this, I'm a Gen X generation. We used to do it face to face, but I am not oblivious to hey, I've been from DOS language all the way up. You know what I mean? So I've been around pagers and first cell phones were this damn big. So I'm not oblivious to what goes on. However, texting is a tough way to have the emotional behind it is what I'm getting at. I could have made that a lot, quicker, but sometimes texting can be a little misconstrued. So you may have gotten a message like that, right? That was a little bit like, what the hell did that mean? Anyway, let me get back to your reading. I'm sorry. All right. So now in this, I'm saying with this Page of Swords, it's kind of like it's got researching maybe like a new job or a financial opportunity. We do have the Pentacles. You started off with that, is right. See? So coinage, money, finances, maybe someone younger than you, like I said, is I don't know, maybe a little less experienced, but definitely interested in you. Okay. It doesn't have to be the case. Maybe you are the young one or younger, young Padawan here, right? But it could talk about like learning a brand new skill set too. Okay. But I'm leaning more towards like that short, flirty text, just kind of testing the waters here. I'm graduating to that area because it's all about the communication. We got swords. We could be talking about, any of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. We don't have to be, but we could be, right? Anyway, this is, I'm gathering up the receipts before I make a decision on your part or on theirs. Okay. It's preparing to speak to you, tell the truth. And I'm sensing that because of the behavioral kind of details in this card, right? They say things like, I don't know, I saw your post, and the tone is kind of like it was accidental. They're like, I accidentally saw that post. Whatever it is, it's all about curious. It's nerves, right? They're watching, and the feminine knows this, so it's got the feminine energy is intuitive, very observant. That strategizing kind of energy. Don't say you're not, because yeah, you are. I feel like this is all about messages, communication, incoming, right? Um, some of you could resonate with the spirit animal, the cardinal. Okay. Like I said, it's definitely about something about speaking up here. Okay. Let's talk about your recent past. And it's the 8 of Pentacles. Like I said, once again, it's more of this. It's, take it with a grain of glitter, y'all. I'm just saying, this isn't a warning. It's all about clarity. Okay. I'm going to guide you through this. But what I mean is, you've been grinding, emotionally. You've been grinding, self-improvement, building something meaningful here. That's what this talks about. Whether this is kicking back, we did start off with that, that energy right there, the 7 of Pentacles. But I feel like you're building towards something bigger, something better. Some of you could be like, doing your own YouTube channel. You could be, this is all about, like, having some kind of a side hustle. Maybe some of you own your own business, or even you're considering doing this and taking your talents and pushing them somewhere where they could, help you financially, right? But this is all about the grind, improving your skills, your boundaries, your self-worth, everything, And so you've been kind of working overtime or taking on extra clients is what this could talk about, right? It's all about repetition, the discipline, refining your skills. For some of you, it's refining the, for the masculine that needs to speak up, it's going to be definitely about refining those, hey, speak up because I need to know the answer here. We're going to talk about that right there. But I'm just saying, for some of you, it's been saving money or planning a financial upgrade, right? And for others of you, it's kind of like learning how to detach from people that are like inconsistent. Those are all learning lessons, right? So it's working on yourself like that. Um, anyway, I feel like this is like, you've been proving to yourself that you are capable, very capable of rebuilding, whatever that means for you. Okay. Um, this is balanced, both energies I feel like are working towards some kind of a stability here. Okay. It resonates with the spirit, the spirit animal or the spirit insect, the bee, right? It's all about teamwork, right? It's all about, effort, willing to work for you. Some of you, like I said, you got them flowers out now, early spring, right? Bringing in the bumblebees. I love the pollinators. We are the pollinators. That we are the pollinators. You know what I mean? Of this effort. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about the possibilities. Uh huh. The Knight of Cups. Wow, 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 wow. I still got that song stuck in my head. You guys, I know I know I'm no Keith Anderson, but hey, I was just trying, right? This is a romantic offer. It's coming. Someone wants to express feelings. I want to flirt with you. I want to pursue you. Look, I know I got dirty boots on. My jeans are dirty. My t-shirt. I just got off work, but damn, I've got to see you. That's what this is about. It's a little bit softer than just I'm horny. Okay, it's a little sweeter, right? More intentional. And we don't judge people, right, by the way they look. We want to know, are they there emotionally? Can they step up? So the masculine energy here is finally kind of like expressing your emotion. The feminine energy is opening up, maybe after being a little protected, a little guarded. We do have that 10 of Wands energy. We do have the warrior energy. We're going to talk about those. So hey, don't leave. These are all good cards. It's not what you think. But this is that romantic gesture. This is yeah, let's go take a drive. Let's go fishing. You ever done that? Let's grab some poles and go fishing. I'll bait your hook. You know what I mean? Isn't that sweet? Even though I know you probably do it your damn self, but still, it's about gifts. It's about compliments. Someone driving to see you. This is it could be that crush about to reveal themselves. It's got new love interest entering your life. Okay, and for some of you, it could be unexpectedly. You may not be aware. You may not be aware that this person thinks of you that way, right? Somebody you work around. We do have the pentacles here. It doesn't have to be that case, but maybe, like I said, this could be one of your clients, right? Just coming back again, going, did I forget think I left my receipt. Any excuse, whatever reason to come see you. Isn't that nice? Anyway, they say things like, I've been thinking about you, right? Or I miss your energy. I don't know. It just could come across actually as a knight. They come in kind of I don't know, a little quirky. I kind of like call it nerdy, you know what I mean? But it's like they could just say something like they've been rehearsing it, and it just comes out all tongue tied and twisted. All right, so just pay attention. That's what that is. Okay, it's bold, it's romantic. The feminine is receptive, intuitive in this card. Okay, all right. So it's new love, fresh starts. Right, we're going to talk about this near future. Okay, this is another soft landing here, but I feel like this is all about expansion, long distance. You start off, right? 7, you move into the 8 of Pentacles, right? And that's what this card talks about. Is it going to pay off? Whether this is, the finance side of things, I definitely see that coming. But I feel like what it's more leaning towards is more of this Emperor energy. We're going to talk about this card too, but you're stepping into like a bigger life. For some of you, this is newer opportunities, or that relationship that's going to require like I don't know, maybe some distance to close is what it could be talking about. You might have to, maybe moving to a situation, moving to another place, moving in with another person. That's all about the action side of things. The 2 of Wands is all about I'm going to prepare, I'm going to, do the research, and now I'm thinking about it. And now the 3 is the actual action towards something. So for some of you, like I said, it could be relocation. That long distance relationship, that person who's at a distance wants to see you, or like I said, I don't know, waiting for that message that changes everything. For others, it's like I said, it could be that job opportunity that's like in another city or something. Um, or it could be somebody who's planning that next move towards you. Okay, but I feel like this is like that long term compatibility kind of energy. It's stepping into leadership. For some of you, like I said, it could have been learning some new skills. With that 7 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles. It doesn't have to be. Some of you could like taking some online classes, just kind of upgrade. You get what I mean? It's kind of like just I'm leaving behind small thinking, and I'm going to move towards something a little bit bigger. Okay, for myself, it's future based, right? It's the things, the conversations that start with when we, or next time, or eventually, right? So anyway, it's all about planning, strategizing, envisioning, kind of receiving. For some of you, we're talking about it's clarity, right? It's the truth that's coming out, right? Some of you could resonate with the hawk here, the spirit animal, the hawk. Um, And I kind of feel like it's like you'll see the bigger picture soon. The hawk is very observant, very astute, very aware. So if you watch them in the sky, uh, when they're hunting, when they're circling, they're doing some watching. Okay, you could resonate with that. Anyway, let's talk about the self. Let's talk about the Nine of Wands. Look, you're exhausted, right? But resilient. It takes a lot of work to work on yourself. This is all about emotional battles, but you're still standing, right? It is the warrior energy. Wiser, sharper, more discerning. This is all about your boundaries that have been formed over time. We don't all just, you know, we are not birthed with knowing what our boundaries are. It takes life to teach us that, right? But it's cautious. It's about letting go. And for some of you, it could be about letting that person back in your life, right? You're done with the mixed signals. It's kind of the same old thing, right? Burnout, you know, uh, preparing for the breakthrough. I notice red flags faster. It's got a little bit of rebuilding trust, kind of in that slower angle. It's your timing, right? You're kicked back, going, I'll choose when I trust you and when I don't. In the meantime, you can talk to talk, but can you walk the walk, right? So it's responding a little slower, thinking longer, and you trust less easily than maybe you used to here. Okay. It's got both masculine and feminine energy here, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe both energies are definitely on the defense here. Um, but it's got hopeful in it, right? Okay. Now let's talk about the environment, the Ace of Swords. This is the aha. This is the aha moment for some of you. It's like, here's the breakthrough. This is that job. This is that truth. This is that apology. This is that whatever the hell it was that you needed to hear. This is cutting through all of that confusion. Okay. It's finally that person telling you how they feel. Okay. We saw that Knight of Cups. Perhaps that is the knight in shining armor. We don't have to believe in the fairy tale, but some of us do. It would be nice to have somebody that reciprocates that same kind of clarity, right? I mean, that's not fairy tale. That's just real feelings, right? A conversation that changes everything about this dynamic. That's what that could be about, right? The honesty that shifts everything, a new idea that leads to money. You know, um, this is the person that speaks more directly, less on the defense, and that could be talking about that divine feminine energy too. So, not just going to exclude out the masculine in that situation, but it's decisive. Receptive, intuitive. Yeah. So we're talking about the spirit animal, the owl, in this, for instance, right? That's all about the hidden knowledge being revealed here. And I think you're about to know, what you've been sensing all along here. Okay. Let's move into this 10 of Wands energy. Again, it might poke an old bruise, but it's important that we see this because, carrying too much alone can oftentimes, uh, it's got that isolation, feeling alone. However, I feel like where you carry the emotional weight, um, other people coast, and you see that, right? You want love, but not if it's going to drain you, right? You got that. I want success, but not at the cost of my peace. So that's what you've learned. Okay. And that's why it's important that we see these cards. It's important that we hear this, what this is about. Of course, you fear, failing for someone who can't meet you halfway. And, you know, it's not your fault that they're overwhelmed by their own responsibilities. You've learned how to deal with this, right? That's all. Every individual one of those wands represents that. We could also, again, like I said, you do have a lot of fire signs. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could be that person that's in your mixed here. Doesn't have to be, but I'm just saying, it's got, you're ready to release what's just been too heavy for you. You know what I'm saying? And so this is all about support. It's craving the support. And it's a good thing because you've got this masculine energy that is just about to explode here. You know, you might hide your exhaustion behind humor or silence here, but I don't think that you're going to have to do that anymore. Okay. It does have a little bit of overwhelming, maybe overextended energy, but this is all about slow progress here. You know what I'm saying? So I give you permission. You are allowed to move at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. Here it is, the outcome and the direction. It's all the way at the end. What are we talking about? We're talking about leadership. This is what happens whenever you face things, the emotional challenges. When you step up, this is all about authority. This is about, I've taken control financially. I've taken control emotionally. I've taken control spiritually. There's not a damn thing about this emperor here that is undecisive, right? It's all about consistency. It's all about groundedness, gaining control over your life. It's the equivalent to the chariot. Okay, to me, it's taking control of the reins of your life here. You know what I mean? It's definitely it's got Aries kind of energy. That fire. And like I said, we have a lot of fire signs here, and that devil card, and you and me, baby, picking wildflowers, everything. You become the authority in this area, right? So this is all about gaining emotional clarity, consistency, confidence. Definitely the lion sign here, right? Courage, desire, being seen. So, you could resonate with the lion in that situation as well. Could be dealing with a Leo. Doesn't have to be, but I'm just saying those fire signs. Hey, I'm going to say this: you're guarded, but you're strong, right? The Ace of Swords is going to bring some truth for you. You've been sensing it; it's coming. The Ten of Wands shows you the weight, right? That you're ready to release, and the Emperor is just it's crowning the end of this year with power. Okay. And I don't think it's the end of this year. I think it's coming up here quickly. Okay. We're talking about the stability, and if that is that emperor energy coming in, that divine masculine energy coming, that's going to step forward. I feel like that's going to be the time when you understand this is not any more of a repeating cycle, that you've already rewritten your destiny here. Okay. All right. Scorpio, good reading. I love it. I appreciate getting to read something like that. It had a lot of juice to it. And I swear I got that song stuck in my head. You're gonna have to let me know in the comments. But hey, I hope I didn't offend, any Anderson lovers out there. I tried my best. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, would you? And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscription. All those likes, they help this channel grow. So anyway, if you're part of the steampunk community, I love you so very much. I hope I get to see you on the next readings. I'll leave last week's here. It may resonate, may not. Anyway, we'll leave it with this one. All right. Bye.